person to do that, I'm gonna pick you and you're gonna be next. And you're gonna be next. And you're gonna be next. And you're gonna be next.
You're the one that's going to be next, Joxy. They were never live. There is something deeply sinister about a lie that looks like the truth. Not the kind of lie that trips over itself. Not the clumsy kind. The kind you catch in the first 30 seconds and move on from. The dangerous kind. The engineered kind. The kind built in a back room by people who have studied exactly what you trust. Exactly what your eyes look for. Exactly what makes a 10-year-old click without thinking twice. That is what we're here to talk about today. Not a scam in the abstract. Not a concept. A specific, documented, coordinated operation running right now in broad daylight on one of the most visited websites on the planet, designed to do one thing: take money from children. Let's go inside. Before we get into the specifics, we need to talk about what a scam actually is, because the word gets thrown around so loosely that it started to lose its weight. People call a bad deal a scam. They call overpriced coffee a scam, and in doing so, they've quietly filed down the edges of a word that should still be sharp. A scam is a deceptive scheme, a deliberately constructed trap. It requires planning. It requires a target. And it requires a lie. A specific, weaponized lie, placed precisely where the target will find it. The people we're talking about today are not careless. They are not impulsive. They are not making mistakes. They are professionals. They have a method. They have a system. They have multiple channels, some with over 1 million subscribers, running simultaneously, broadcasting the same lie on a loop around the clock to an audience that does not know it is being hunted. And the audience they have chosen, the targets they have identified and zeroed in on with the cold precision of people who do not see human beings when they look at their viewers: children. Specifically, children who play Roblox. Hold that thought. We'll come back to it. Let's talk about what was found. The exposure came in large part from a YouTuber named Jax Films, a creator who for years has made it his business to shine a light on the rot that festers in the corners of the internet that most people don't look closely enough to see. He looked, and what he found was not one scammer, not two, a network. Channels with names like Joxy, Rilo, Just Alex, and Silex. Each of them sitting on subscriber counts ranging from 150,000 to over 1.4 million. Each of them broadcasting at the same time, simultaneously, all labeled with that little red badge that means, this is happening right now, this is live. Someone is on the other end of this camera, and they can see your comments, and they are here with you in this moment. None of it was live, not a single frame. What these channels were broadcasting was pre-recorded footage, looped, seamless, engineered to look spontaneous. The same clips, playing over and over on multiple channels at once, all feeding from the same poisoned well. And the proof was right there in the video itself, if you knew what to look for. Visible cuts where the loop restarted. Repeated sequences playing out identically, word for word, movement for movement, in a pattern no genuinely live broadcast could produce. They were phantoms, digital ghosts, the image of a person without the person. And here is the detail that once you hear it, makes your skin feel slightly wrong. All of these channels shared identical biography text, word for word. The same statement copy-pasted across every channel, claiming that the creator, quote, does not control the account. Think about that for a moment. Think about the legal architecture of that disclaimer. Someone, somewhere, sat down and wrote a sentence designed to create distance between themselves and the fraud they were about to commit. They thought about liability. They thought about accountability. They thought about what would happen if someone looked too closely. And then they pressed play. Every trap needs bait, and these people understand bait the way a fisherman understands current, intuitively, instinctively, from years of practice. The bait comes in 2 stages. Stage 1 is not about money. Stage 1 is about attention. And the tactic they use for it is one of the more psychologically disturbing things I've had to sit and watch while preparing this piece. A phone, sitting on a desk, the screen facing the camera. The numbers on it read 911. A finger hovers over the call button. The finger doesn't press it. It never presses it, but it stays there, trembling, hesitating, creating the kind of unbearable tension that makes you unable to look away, unable to close the tab, unable to scroll past. Because some part of your brain, even the adult, rational part, gets caught in the gravity of it. What if they actually do it? What if the finger slips? That is the design. That is the point. Calling emergency services without cause is a crime. A serious one. Potentially a felony, depending on jurisdiction. The people behind these streams know this. They are counting on you to know it too. They are counting on the sick, morbid pull of watching someone stand at the edge of a consequence they could never come back from. They will never call. They have never called. The clip is pre-recorded and the finger never presses it. But you don't know that. The child watching doesn't know that. And while you're frozen, watching, waiting, the hook is already in. Then there is stage 2, the one about money. Once the viewer is caught, once the tension of the 911 clip has done its job and the channel has its eyeballs, the footage shifts. Now we're in a Roblox stream, and now the promises begin. Send a gift, get Robux, free currency, free in-game items. All you have to do is send a laughing disco ball, a paid YouTube gift worth approximately $5, and you'll be the next winner. The winner is always the same name. Over and over, in the looped footage, the same name wins. It is either someone already in on the operation, or it is a name that does not belong to a real person at all. Either way, no child watching will ever win anything. No Robux will ever be delivered. The $5 disappears. The stream loops. The finger hovers over the phone. And somewhere, in a room you will never see, someone counts the money. I want to make sure we talk about the crocodile. Because while the 911 tactic is designed to create tension and the Robux giveaway is designed to extract money, the crocodile is something else. A category adjacent to theater, to performance, to something that looks like danger but is engineered so carefully to be safe that watching it starts to feel almost surreal. It is a toy, a game, the kind you may have seen in stores, a crocodile mouth, spring-loaded, with teeth. Except in this version, the teeth on the top row have been fitted with thumbtacks, sharp ones. The streamer puts a finger inside. They build the moment, the tension climbs, the chat erupts, and then, only if you donate, the mouth slams shut. The streamer reacts. They wince, or they laugh, or they shake their hand dramatically. And the loop begins again. Now, let's be clear about what is actually happening here. The footage is pre-recorded. The reaction is performed. The thumbtacks may or may not make contact with any real finger. What is certain is that this has been calculated. The entire construction of this moment, the props, the setup, the performance of pain. What is certain is that this has been calculated. The entire construction of this moment, the props, the setup, the performance of pain, to trigger something in a viewer's brain that makes them reach for their wallet. It is manipulation wearing the costume of entertainment. And it works because the people watching are often young, because they haven't yet built the particular kind of skepticism that comes from being deceived enough times to recognize the architecture of a con. Because to a child, the line between genuine peril and performance is not always visible. And these scammers know that, and they use it, and they feel nothing about using it. Let's talk about the audience. Not as a statistic, not as a viewer count on a dashboard somewhere. Let's talk about who's actually sitting in front of these streams. Research from Carnegie Mellon University has found that teenagers are a primary target demographic for YouTube giveaway scams. The mobile game currency bait, the free Robux, the gift cards, the in-game items is not an accident. It was chosen specifically because it maps onto the desires of young people. Because a 12-year-old who wants new skins in their favorite game and doesn't have a credit card is exactly the kind of viewer who will convince a parent to help them send $5 to a stranger on the internet. And that's before we even get to the younger ones. Roblox's player base skews young, much younger than most people outside of the gaming world realize. Children who are 8, 9, 10 years old are spending hours in that ecosystem every week. And the scammers know this. The branding of these channels is not designed for adults. The colors, the thumbnails, the promises, all of it is calibrated for a brain that is still developing the capacity to distinguish between what is real and what has been designed to look real. These are not unsophisticated criminals targeting careless adults. These are calculated predators targeting children. Say that plainly. Don't soften it. Because the people running these channels have already calculated exactly how much softening they need to stay under the radar, and they are banking on the rest of us using gentler language than the situation deserves. Here's something that doesn't get discussed enough. After each stream ends, the footage disappears. The finished live streams are deleted. The evidence is removed. What was just running, for hours, harvesting donations from children who believed they were watching something real, vanishes as if it never existed. This is not sloppiness. This is procedure. These operations are also known to reuse the same footage across multiple channels simultaneously. The same looped video, running in parallel, on 4 different channel names at the same time, quadrupling the reach, multiplying the income, spreading the trap across a wider net. Each channel accumulates its own subscriber base, builds its own facade of legitimacy, and then feeds from the same pre-recorded trough. It is a franchise model, a system, something with structure and hierarchy and deliberate design. And when Jax Films first shone a light on it, when the exposure started gaining traction and the clips started circulating, one of these channels briefly broke from the loop. A streamer appeared, speaking directly to camera, stepping outside the fiction for just a moment to say, "You need to stop trying to expose us. We're not doing anything wrong." Then the loop resumed. We're not doing anything wrong. That is what they believe. Or at least, that is what they want you to believe they believe. Because the alternative, that they know exactly what they're doing and have simply decided that children's money is worth taking, Is a truth too uncomfortable to say out loud, even for them? There is at least a chapter of this story that does not end in darkness. After Jax Films released his investigation, someone in his Discord community took action. They contacted YouTube's partner management directly. They filed the documentation, they made the case, and YouTube, eventually, after enough pressure, acted. The channels came down. Joxy, with its 1.37 million subscribers, gone. The others in the network, removed. For a moment, it felt like a win. It was a win. Give credit where it's due. That person, one community member who decided to do something, helped remove millions of fraudulent subscribers from the platform and disrupted an operation that was actively taking money from children. That matters. That deserves to be said clearly. But YouTube, in the fourth quarter of 2024 alone, removed nearly 5 million channels. The overwhelming majority were removed for misleading and scam-related content. 5 million in 3 months, which means that Joxy was not an anomaly. Joxy was not the exception. Joxy was one data point in an ocean of identical operations running simultaneously, right now, on the same platform where your child goes to watch game videos and learn how to cook and find out what the world looks like. Taking down one channel does not end the scam. It ends that channel. The people behind it regroup. They rebuild, they create new accounts, loop new footage, pick new names, and go back to work. Because the infrastructure of this kind of fraud is not a single building you can demolish. It is a mold. And mold does not die when you wipe one patch of it from the wall. It spreads. So what do you do with all of this? First, you learn the signs. Because the red flags on these streams are visible once you know what you're looking at. Multiple channels broadcasting identical content simultaneously. Visible cuts in a supposedly live feed. Repeated sequences playing on a loop. Giveaway prizes that require payment to claim. Channel bios that deflect ownership. Comments disabled or heavily restricted to prevent anyone from sounding the alarm. You see any of those? You close the tab. You do not donate. You do not share. You close the tab. Second, you report. YouTube's community reporting tools exist for exactly this. Use them. Report the channel. Report the stream. And if reporting feels futile, if the channel stays up, if the loop keeps playing, do what that person in Jax Films' Discord did. Find the next step. Find the contact. Make the noise that has to be made. Third, you talk to the children in your life, not in the frightening way, not in the way that makes the internet feel like a haunted house they can never safely enter, but in the honest way, the way that gives them a tool they can use. If someone is promising you something for free, ask why. If a live stream wants you to pay to win, close it. If something feels wrong, trust that feeling and find an adult. That instinct, the small, quiet alarm bell that says something is off here, is learnable. It can be taught. And teaching it is the only defense that scales. Because there are not enough platform moderators on Earth to catch every loop, every re-upload, every new channel name generated by an operation that has already survived one takedown and will survive the next. There are people fighting this. People like Scammer Payback, who go after the real-world operators. People like Jax Films, who expose the digital ones. People in Discord servers, quietly filing reports and waiting to see if anyone listens. They are doing work that matters. But the scammers are not stopping. They are not discouraged. They are not ashamed. Somewhere right now, a new channel is being created. New footage is being looped. The red live badge is being attached to something that will never be live, and a child is about to click on it. That is why this video exists. Not to frighten, not to despair, to make sure that child's parent or older sibling or teacher or friend, whoever it is that is watching this right now, has the information they need before the click happens. Watch closely, report what you find, and never ever mistake the image of a live stream for the real thing. YouTube, if you're listening, you need to take this seriously. As you have taken down a lot of these channels, there are more and more of them being created. They bring no value to your platform. This is illegal with serious consequences. Hire a team that does nothing but search for these types of channels, because they are easy to find. And finally, this message is for you, Joxy. You are completely banned from ever owning a YouTube channel again. If we see you on this platform, we will take action. And trust us, we have the power to do it. There is nowhere you can hide. We have eyes everywhere.
Yo, Jack, you need to stop trying to expose us, bro. Leave us alone.
We're not doing anything wrong, bro. We're not doing anything wrong.
You won't have to worry about Jack's Films trying to expose you, because we'll do it for him. She is the unseen justice. We are not here to be famous. We are not here to make money. We are not here for the spotlight. We are here to cleanse the rot from this world and make it safer for the innocent people that want to escape from the real world, make new friends, and have a good time. Remember, we will be watching, and we will go after the evil that tries to hurt this world.